It's time for the Ross Fuhs Show. Learn all about Forest Park Ranger football straight from the coach. This week's show is sponsored by Milligan Communications, Street Dreams, and the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosper Communications. Go Rangers!
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
And welcome to this week's Ross Fuhs Show. Coach, last week you played Southridge. It was probably a long game because of the weather delay. But why don't you recap that game for us?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a longer game, but yeah, we started out. I know we got on the scoreboard first, had a decent little drive, and were able to get some decent field position off of a little muff punt by them, but. We scored first, took the lead 6-0, and then the Raiders answered back a couple times to make the score 13-6 at halftime. And once halftime hit is when the big rain and the storms hit, and so we had probably about an hour and a half weather delay between first half and second half, but we were able to get back on the field and get started again about 10:05, 10:10, and we got the ball to start. Second half, had a real long drive, about an 8-minute drive. Just couldn't punch it in. Had a couple big plays on that drive, but unfortunately didn't get it in. And the Raiders scored again to end the third quarter to make it 20-6, and then about halfway through the fourth quarter, punched one more in to win 26-6. So overall, pretty competitive game. Offensively, moved the ball okay. Defensively. Biggest issue was tackling. I mean, we just had a hard time bringing guys down, and that was part of our issue, trying to tackle too high, not wrapping up. But part of theirs as well, as Yoakum and Schrader and Nykum, Weston Allen, really good running backs, and they did a nice job. So competed well, just couldn't quite get it over the hump, and lost 26-6.
And being from Southridge, going back home. It probably doesn't affect you much, but tell me about what your early days of your coaching career going back there. It was kind of weird going back to Southridge and being on the other side of the field.
Yeah, definitely. The first few years, it's a little more comfortable now. so to speak, kind of know what to expect. But yeah, the first year going back there was really strange. You know, you're not in the home locker room, not on the home side of the field. You're not the team running out to back in black and things like that. And you know, you're standing across the field from all the guys that used to coach you or your buddies and things like that. So definitely different, but definitely a little bit used to that by now.
And there's probably kids on the field that you probably played with their parents.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There were a few of those, which does make it even more strange for sure. I think there was one or two that had buddies with their parents in high school.
And we'll be back on the Ross Fuhs Show right after these messages from our sponsors.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
And we're back on the Ross Fuhs Show. And Coach, the Fetters of the world, the Ublers of the world. A lot of people know those names, but a lot of people what they don't realize is the linemen, both on offense and defense. Let's discuss them a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll kind of start with the offensive line, and as we know very well, offense and defensive line can certainly win you or lose you some games. So. This year, our mainstay has kind of been at center. Has been sophomore Roland there. At our guard spots have been both seniors, Clayton Bramus and Chase Burkamp. At tackle spots have been senior Caleb Moya and junior Reed Yoakum. Tight end spots, we have two seniors as well, Caden Bowman and Bo Rashi. Then we've had some other guys in and out, kind of subbing in here and there. Braden Beck has played some. He's a junior. Dylan Meisman, he's a freshman. He's played a little bit on the line as well. And then our defensive line, basically the same names you heard on the offensive line. Our starters at D end have been Caden Bowman and Chase Furkamp. At our D tackle spots, Clayton Bromus and Caleb Moya, and some of the other guys once again have rotated in some. Roland's there. Junior Jake Merriman, he's played a little bit there as well. But so yeah, that's a group who I feel like has definitely gotten better as the years gone on, especially offensively. I feel like blocking wise have really just done a nice job of holding their blocks longer. But defensive line's been really good all year long. It's probably been the group that's really set the tone for us. Clayton Bromus, Caleb Moya, both really good D tackles, just very disruptive in there. The ends have done a nice job of turning things in. But you're right. Linemen, you don't hear the name a lot, but they are a huge part of it. If you don't have guys that can block, you're not going to be very successful.
And that's why when you read the paper or listen to a broadcaster and they talk about the linemen, or not the linemen, the running backs, they've gained 180 yards tonight. They don't realize that if it wasn't for those linemen, they wouldn't have gained 80 yards.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think, people sometimes, when I was playing, and I'm sure you and all the time you hear people say, oh, those linemen are dumb. Well, I tell you, linemen are much more the opposite than that. They have to be extremely intelligent to play the line with defensive shifting, defensive slanting, defensive lining up in a different formation, have to make calls and checks and things like that. So, not only you have to be intelligent, you still have to be quick, you have to be athletic, you have to be able to think on your feet. So it is a very tough spot to play.
And we'll be back on the Ron Fuhs Show right after these messages from our sponsors. You're listening to the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosmer Communications.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
And welcome back to the rest of the show. And Coach, this week your focus is on Mater Dei, and you'll be heading down to the Rice Bowl to play them in opening round of sectional. Why don't you preview that game for us?
Yeah, we do. We get a chance to go down and play the Mater Dei Wildcats right out of the gate in sectional. Mater Dei is obviously a really good football team. They're 7-2. Had a nice season. I think only losses were to Jasper and Evansville Memorial on the season. So had a nice year as always. Coach Gable has been there for a long time and really kind of has the same system he's had forever. I mean, offensively, they're going to be very multiple, a lot of trips, a lot of twins, and they do a ton of stuff out of it. They do a lot of motion. They do a lot of screens to receivers, to running backs. They have a nice running back who was a starter last year, a big line. And then defensively, they play a lot of 4-3, and they blitz a lot. It's kind of been their ammo for a long time. Is play play a 4-3 and bring a lot of pressure, and that's what they do again this year. So obviously they're a big team, talented team. But kind of like we've told our guys last week, and we'll harp on it again this week a lot, that we get it. We're the underdogs. It's definitely going to be an underdog role, but it's a one-game thing. It's not a 5-game series or a 7-game series or anything like that. You just got to beat them one time. We play really, really well, and they don't. We're a good enough football team that can knock them off. So I think a lot of it going in is that mental aspect.
Well, the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network, we make predictions all the time, and we've already predicted that Forest Park is going to be not only modern day but also win.
Right. I appreciate that, and once again, that's the great part about it. In those 2 games, we would be the underdog. We would have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So, once again, that's kind of the message we're sending to our guys this week. You just got to go out and play your tails off for 4 quarters, and anything can happen.
Well, Coach, good luck this week, and we're going to talk to you next week about the victory.
Sounds great.
And
I look forward to it.
We're not going to go over review the season. We're going to preview the second round game.
All right. That sounds great to me. I look forward to that.
Well, good luck this week, and you've been listening to the Ross Fuhs Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosmer Communications. We'll talk to you next week.
You have been listening to the Ross Fuhs Show.
Join us every week to learn more about Forest Park football. This week's show has been brought to you by Milligan Communications, Street Dreams, and the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosmer Communications. See you next week.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.